Hi guys, today we are glad to have Alfred. He has 7 to 8 years of working experience. So far he has been involved in 5 different companies and has also started 3 different companies by himself. So currently he's working on a company called Caltrix, which is like integrating accounting to the cloud services. So for more information, let's have Alfred to share to us about it.
Hi, so thank you Joshua for the intro. Also thanks Justine for the invitation. For myself, I actually started the first business since 26 years old. So that once was as a freelance accounting service. So I actually provide accounting service that serve multiple companies. But then, although I get a very good income, but the bad thing is I don't have a life at all.
Because sounds like accounting.
It's like the peak period is like for the whole 2 weeks I only slept for like 10 hours.
2 weeks?
For 2 weeks.
What the heck?
To rush on the documents because everything is actually I have to go to the customers to actually collect all the documents on site. Then only can start doing it, and the customer sometimes couldn't provide us the documents on time. So that's the thing is like I have to collect like 10 companies document at one time. So I have to use the 2 weeks to complete the whole accounts. So because that time also in the GST era, back in 2015. So but then what I realized is doing business shouldn't have like making your life so difficult. So that's why I switched to distribution of offline accounting software. Whereas those are desktop version means that those software can only be installed in a specific computer. So it's an offline software. So the things that when I started this Caltrix is because I have this inspiration during these 2 businesses that I actually started together. Because when I actually starting the second company, called Glanzan, actually we distribute accounting software. We're actually serving around 500 customers within 2 years. That we get 500 customers, and actually throughout that period, I think I met up at least 1,500 SMEs alone. Because it's good for me to also understand their pain points, everything. But then for myself, our company also using the offline accounting software. So because we are a startup, I'll try to outsource or actually delegate the task accordingly. So I actually assign the invoicing to a colleague, assign someone to handle the inventory, then outsource my accounting to the other party. But the problem is I actually found that throughout this delegation, because all the database is installed in my computer, so I pretty couldn't do everything effectively. For example, they update the invoices, then I can see straight away. I need to back up the database and send it to them. They have to update accordingly. Then inventory and invoicing together. After compile, send to me, then I only can send to the accountant.
A lot of extra steps.
So you can see a lot of things are not integrating, and a lot of manuals that need to be done. There's a case that one of the party, they forgot to back up the right version. Restore the right version before they start doing the work. So when they send us back the copy, it's actually like a lot of invoices not updated previous version. So it's like we have to re-key in the invoice again. So there's a lot of hassles that are involved between the 2 years. So I'm actually lucky enough to actually sold the company off in 2017 because we have enough client base for our acquirer to actually expand to KL. So actually at that time I'm actually pretty lucky that I found a buyer there. So then I started this Caltrix in 2017, end of 2017. So actually this company is founded in 2015, but then things couldn't work out because it's in the GST era. No one really wanted to change the cloud. No one wanted to try new stuff. So that time actually we couldn't get a sale at all in that time, 2015. Then after I sold the company, in the meantime I actually can feel the cloud trend is actually coming. So that's why I actually start to plan and also getting the right information. So by end of 2017, that's where actually I think that it's really a good time to start. So I myself reactivated this company in January 2018, which is last year only.
Okay.
So that's where I really kickstart Caltrix. So what we do is actually based on my experience as a freelance offline accounting service provider and also the offline accounting software distributor, I can see the gap that what the SME actually needs is actually the more efficient of business processes. Because I think just like I mentioned, I met up a lot of SMEs owners. To be honest, most of them are super good in getting sales and getting deal done. So they can get a lot of things, sales revenue generated into the company. But one of the things that always neglected is actually the building the infrastructure below the back end. To make the sales process, accounting process, invoicing process, etc. to be smoother, so that they are using lesser manpower to do it. So what I realized is starting from account accounting, integrating with, for example, CRM, point of sale system, inventory system, payroll, document management, there are so much more. And all these things, if you slowly implement one by pieces, it becomes a mini ERP for a business. So in other sense, it's like they do not need to invest like probably like 6 figures on an ERP, and they need to implement, then try again, testing. And if it doesn't work, they have to readjust the software again, implement again. Then after that, they actually can fully operate. So that's what has been doing by the big corporates, of course, but not SMEs. Just that because SMEs couldn't afford to get like 6-figure software at all at that stage. So what we thought that using this kind of integrations, we help to implement. We are not an integrator, we are not an IT background people, but it's more towards we must understand how each of the software works and integrating with the cloud accounting so that they can get the financial information in a real-time basis. So after all, our end game is still the financial information. Is whether they can look at the profit loss account and balance sheet in an accurate manner. So that's our objective in a real time, because I think you guys also can see that now the business environment is super competitive. The speed is fast. And if you don't have a good financial information for you to depend on before you make a decision, it's actually pretty risky on any business decision that actually you make for your business. So that's why we are coming to picture, filling up the gap, like helping them to streamline the processes, then at the same time implement those technologies. And because we know the technologies, so implement into it, then to make everyone in the company and also ourselves as an outsourced accounting service provider, so that it's more collaborative instead of like the traditional accounting firm. Traditional accounting firm is like what I've been through in the first business, is like company collect all the documents, I'll collect a month later, then only can update the accounts. Sometimes it might be too late for the business owners to know about the financials. That's why actually we implement the software technology. So for example, there are people start sending us the document. We just update by daily or by every 2 to 3 days basis. So when the business owners see their accounts, it's actually pretty like 80% to 90% updated. So that's where they can have a good feeling of what is their financial time.
And that's what you meant by real time. So they don't have to wait for like 1 whole month to see their financial reports.
That's good about cloud accounting software, because we see that, not to say opportunity, is the needs from the SMEs. You need to be more competitive, and setting up those cloud accounting and also those integration is one of the core competence that can fight with your competitors. So these are another area that we always tell our customers that don't neglect that backend part. Actually, because if the backend is not set up properly, you can imagine that all the process are slowing down. When you close a deal, then the people behind you do not know what to do. A lot of manual works using Excel file to track, etc. Then suddenly the Excel file is not synced. Then there's so many things that could make their lives difficult, and their customers is not satisfied as well. So that's the gap that we hope to actually fill up for SMEs in Malaysia.
Speaking about gaps, right? Because I'm pretty sure there is a reason why you saw this as a gap, because you've been working previously, in the accounting industry. That's why you saw, maybe it's a bit slow, maybe it's a bit traditional, maybe it's a bit outdated. From your point of view, how did you manage to spot this gap that was in the industry, and how did you go about that?
I think it's based on the experience that I went out with those more than 1,000 business owners. Because I really, because for me, it's like I don't just close sales because I need that sales. I really think that I only close the sales when I can help you. So that's the differences, because I will really understand their business nature and really go down to their processes within that second company. I really will drill down into what's their needs, what's their processes, what's their existing processes, and how can they improve. So if they apply this accounting software, is it can help them to manage the improvement part? So if yes, then I'll close the deal. So that's where that's the differences that I think myself is like really wanted to help the business owners by drilling down the processes, because without the good understanding about their business nature, you can't really just sell them. You must understand them before you sell. So that's where I started to get involved in a lot of business industries, like manufacturing. I involved before, retail, restaurants, consultation services, marketing company. That's a lot. I think even though like those some special business I really can't recall in specific because it's a couple of years ago, and these are the things that actually let me see like what their needs are, and also myself, as I mentioned just now, I also using that kind of solutions. So definitely I can feel the pain, because sometimes like business owners doesn't know the pains, but the operational are facing the pain. That's where I've been through with my colleagues. Like sometimes I will say, hey, why you didn't back up properly? Things like that. Why you didn't actually make sure everything is correct before you send it to me? So these are some unnecessary, and also can say it's an extra communication that need to be done. Where now the technologies are so advanced that we can automate it. So that's where I see this gap that actually can help the business owners streamlining their business processes at the back, making the accountant life also easier, and make people also easier, and so that they can focus on using their time to focus on growing the business instead of doing all those
unnecessary
robotic tasks. So that's what I thought.
Okay, I see. Yeah, and because this is something new that you're trying to, it's a gap that you're trying to solve, right? Do you have like any competitors that are involved in this as well? Are you competing with any other companies?
Of course, because to be honest, all this software is actually can reachable. Just that we need to use the Google in the right way. So we don't hold any exclusivity, and to be honest, I also don't think that we need to have that. The reason being is the market is actually very huge. So as long as people aware of this technology, and also I'm happy to share, so that actually creating more awareness for the accounting firm and also the business owners about these solutions. Eventually, my hope is still whether whatever that we are doing is creating positive impacts for the SMEs in Malaysia. And if we are doing that, why not the other companies also can help their own clients? Because we are talking about at least few million SMEs in Malaysia. And we hardly to serve all of them. So that's the thing, is more towards, I don't mind to have competitors. I'm happy to have them, because we're actually helping the SMEs to grow. In other sense, it's actually our business, like competitors and ourselves, we also will grow along the way. So yeah, of course there's competitors. Just that I think it's an open market. Just that just prepare to face those competitors for me lah.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is like a closing question. It's more of like right now, if you knew somebody, or you could actually like rewind the clock and ask yourself or tell your younger self something to like, hey, how do you actually help people find gaps in the market? Or how do you actually know these gaps in the market and then provide a solution? If there's somebody that is asking you, or you can tell yourself, what would be actually something you would give them, an advice you would give them, or something you wish you knew when you were back then like, looking into starting the very first business?
I think these are things that I've learned throughout the years. Is one of the very key points actually about the needs analysis. Yeah. So I think every business owners must, even though for the fresh grads or people already have working experience, either they are employed or self-employed, I think it's fine. but just that the direction must be set right. Like the needs analysis I mentioned just now is like whatever that the business that you do, you must know what are the pain points actually happening in the industries. So from that, then you only formulate the solutions. Then the solutions need to be validated. So it goes back to the needs analysis again. So you can actually try to ask the SMEs around within your network whether this your pain points and these solutions that actually you need for your business. After validated, then only move to planning how to get who you need in your team and how much you need to grow this business, to start this business, everything. So I think this actually can cut short a lot of time for you to banging the walls to find a real right business that actually can do in Malaysia. So I think this is why I've applied for this business. But the previous two, I don't do that.
So the needs analysis help you a lot.
Yes, because you must understand the pain points. So whatever that comes, actually we are serving now. So far, since last year until now, there's no dropout in terms of customer saying, I don't need your service anymore. I don't think you are good or you are giving
So the customer retention is very good.
Yes. Actually can say it's almost 100% unless the company closes down.
Oh,
yeah, because startups actually, to be honest, first 3 years, almost 80% of the startups will close down.
True.
In the first 3 years. So that's the thing that you face. But at least what we do is actually really giving the values, and the customers are happy on what we are trying to solve for in their business.
We've actually come to the end of this episode. Again, we want to thank Alfred for joining us here. And if you ever have a company and you need accounting on the cloud, you can engage Caltrix. Yeah. So again, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you in the next episode.
See you.